some of our violent offenders here in the city of Chicago is they don't care.
That's it.
They don't. It's not funny, but they don't care. He does not care. You cannot hurt that man.
Yeah,
that's scary too.
Yeah,
it does not bother him.
I wish I had that kind of. No, I don't. I was about to say thick skin, but it's a delusion, and I would never, ever want that. Well, I think I'm done with Trump. I think we need to talk about something healthy. And as I mentioned, our guest was Dr. Eric Clopton, the pastor of the Cosmopolitan Community Church. Again, full disclaimer, that is my cousin. And he'll be back after this to talk to us about what the healthy church looks like. Because Lord knows we need some healthiness.
Hey, you're in the mix with the Vibrant Mix with Tasha, Tamiko, and Fred. Not live from. I'm going to do that for about a month before I figure out that this is a podcast. But we are broadcasting from the studios of TLC Talk Radio. And our in-studio guest today is my favorite cousin, which might not go over well when the rest of the family hears this. But Dr. Pastor, cousin, brother, Eric D. Clopton. I won't reveal your middle name because you might be mad. What's up? Is that your sound effect for screams?
Yeah. It doesn't happen in real life, so I figure I got to do it myself.
That's
sometimes.
Like you got to toot your own horn a little bit.
Yes.
Hey, Dr. Clopton, welcome to a Vibrant Mix.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Indeed.
I feel like I'm at your home.
But I'm bummed. He'll be here all week. And every Sunday at the Cosmopolitan Community Church. Dr. Clopton is the pastor of the Cosmopolitan Community Church, located on 52nd and Wabash. Shameless plug, where I am the director of media. Now, we brought him in today to talk about the healthy church. We talk about a variety of things here. That's why we are a Vibrant Mix. But I always want to bring in the spiritual component. We talk about relationship. It's important, I guess, to talk about the relationship between parishioner and church, so to speak, or congregant and church, as we're not necessarily a parish. Tell us a little bit about who you are first.
Well, I'm the new pastor of Cosmopolitan Community Church. Like we said, shameless plug, 5249 South Wabash, Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
Indeed.
I've been
Is
there.
that ain't the zip code? That's your zip code.
60615. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. You're human.
Yes, I am. But I've been there 5 months roughly. We're going into our 6th month. These are some exciting times at Cosmopolitan. I'm a happily married man to Lady Kyra Clopton and father of 4.
My babies and my Kyra.
The shameless plug of the Cloptons. There's Erica, there's Kayla, there's Eric Jr., and then there's Kyron. And Kyron and EJ just happen to be honor roll students. Grades just came out today.
I saw.
Oh yes, God is good. Won't He do it?
Indeed. Definitely, he used y'all parents to get his children right.
Oh yeah, that and the rod of correction.
I think we all have had experience with somebody's rod of correction, and I hope that the kids don't get it too much. I hope they get it when they get it the first time, they understand, and they don't have to hang out with Rod too much.
Right, we call it act right in my house. go get act right.
Oh,
but no, they're great kids. Great kids.
They are.
I'm happy we haven't had the issues that I know a lot of parents have had. So God is good.
Indeed. So you've been at the church for 5 months. You're going into month 6. What has it been like for you? You've been in ministry a long time, over 15 years, right?
Right.
But what has the transition been like from minister to pastor? Because that's not the same, and maybe tell the listeners the difference between the two.
Well, as a minister, you sit under a pastor. You report to and kind of do duties as assigned.
Mm-hmm.
As a pastor, it's the opposite. Similar duties, except for on a greater scale. You're responsible for the spiritual direction of the church, of the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
The buck stops here. You work with the board. You work with every officer of the church, every ministry, and you kind of seek the Lord for guidance, for vision, and for direction on whatever steps the Lord sees fit for each particular church.
Okay. How is it, what are some of the differences? Because in ministry, you deal with people regardless. But your role from minister to pastor, what has that been like dealing with people? What's been the shift? Or has there been one? Is it something you were kind of ready for?
Oh, I knew I've been ready for this role. I think I feel like a hand in a glove.
Okay.
Most people, there are very few people who really find their calling. And I know this is mine. It's comfortable. It has not been easy, but it's comfortable. Mm-hmm. God is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The way He moves and the way He operates, He has made the transition almost seamless.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So you have a staff. What does your church leadership look like?
It's myself. I'm the senior pastor. I have currently 4 ministers. There's a 5th who's in the works. We have deacons, also known as stewards at our church. A slew of ministries. There are some that have not been in operation, but are in the process of being revamped. There's the church board. You are new with the church. The Cosmopolitan used to have a television ministry,
okay,
which was dissolved for one reason or another. But we're just in rebuilding stage. These are some exciting times.
They are, and I'm excited. I think people have been welcoming. People are excited about the different direction, and the momentum being generated, I think. And
they are for sure. I can definitely see the change. I get it all the time. I was just telling you earlier, you and your former guest, how one of the mothers at the church told me, hey, because I hug people at the end of service. I'm at the rear of the church shaking hands, hugging every Sunday. And the one mother said, hey, I didn't vote for you. You were not my pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, and she said, but now I can't see anyone else here but you.
Yeah. And that's a blessing.
Yes, it is. And then I'm hearing the word on the street is that things are going on at Cosmopolitan in a good way. I've heard members that have heard from people from a variety of churches across the city and even the suburbs. Cosmopolitan is a historic church.
Okay.
Reverend Henry O. Hardy had pastored there for 47 years, and he's known as a wordsmith. A lot of wisdom, but his style and mine and approach to ministry are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud to say that the congregation seems to be embracing the new direction that we're going in.
That's great. That's great. Do you have a relationship with Pastor Hardy?
Oh, yes. Actually, he's going to be preaching for us this coming Sunday for Black History Month.
Very nice, because he is absolutely historic.
Yes, he is. He is an icon in the Black church, and he is a man of his people.
Mm-hmm.
He loves Black people. He loves Black culture. He loves everything about being Black. Black, African American, Negro, whatever you want to call it. But he's a man. That's the reason I felt it was so important to bring him in. He and I, we have a pretty good relationship. But we had the conversation when I first got there that he said, don't think that I'm going to be around shadowing or whatever. I want you to be the pastor, just like I was the pastor.
Okay.
And so that that was a good thing.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. So, what are some of the changes you and the other congregants? Because obviously you're not an island. What have been some of the changes or even projects that you've some accomplishments? I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, one of the things we've done, like I said, with yourself, we've reinstituted the media ministry.
Okay.
We're more active in social media. The church is going through a rebranding. We new logo. We have streamlined our services. I'm big on time, as you know.
That's a family trait.
And so the congregation was not as big on time initially, but they know that we start on time and we don't hold services all day long. And it's because it's a sign of the times. People, you have to make church, you don't compromise the gospel, but you have to be respectful of people's time. People aren't used to being in a 3 or 4 hour service.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did years ago. Right now we need to make sure the church is relevant and not escape or leave the biblical principles behind. But we also want to make sure that life is conducive to one of the many activities that people have going on, because people right now they have a lot going on in their lives.
Absolutely. So we want to talk about the healthy church. What do you mean when you say a healthy church?
Well, the reason I brought up a healthy church is because there are a whole lot of churches out there that are not healthy. Healthy is a church that's biblically based. It's doctrinally sound, but it's also a relevant church. A church is only as healthy as the leadership and the membership.
Okay.
So it's very important. If you what would you like, a sick doctor?
I would not.
The church is a hospital, but somebody's got to be healthy. You have to have a healthy vision. You've got to have a relevant ministry, a ministry that addresses the entire man. And when I say man, that's non-gender specific.
Right.
Spirit, soul, and body. So, traditionally churches have been focusing primarily on souls. And souls, we don't stray from that message, but we add to. So churches still have some societal responsibilities that always need to be addressed. A healthy church deals with both local as well as foreign mission. You handle your congregation. You make sure that your staffing in the church, they must be mentored as well as invested in for ongoing and continuous growth. You must make sure that the board is healthy, that they know what their roles are. A church also has to be financially sound and responsible.
Definitely. Particularly with the rumors and rampant about, that whole stereotypical slick preacher, big fancy car, having, an event to take care of the roof while someone is out, kind of kicking it. So, yeah, you definitely want to be responsible in every area.
All right. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against having things.
Yeah.
Some people think that because you're in ministry, or because you've decided to, well, not decided, but because you've been called by the Lord, that you've taken a vow of poverty, and that is not the case.
Correct.
It's okay to have things as long as the things don't have you.
Exactly. So when you begin to compromise your morals and values,
right,
so that you can have those things, and that's when it becomes problematic. Or you take away from
If you're driving a Bentley and your church can't afford its mortgage, or your church isn't paid off, something's wrong. You have to have balance. Whatever you have, you got to be wise with it. Just be wise. Use sound biblical principles. But I definitely believe that you must be responsible, but don't. Because of the role of a preacher,
mm-hmm.
You're expected to be on call 24/7.
Okay.
365 days a year, 66 in a leap year.
Indeed.
You're expected to always be ready, available. You shouldn't have bad days. You shouldn't want to flip somebody the bird.